Yeah, once again we are in session 4. Then session 4 deal with direct and indirect teaching. At the end of this session, you should be able to distinguish between direct and indirect method of teaching. Now, the approach for teaching can be broadly classified into less participatory, and that's the teacher-centered, and more participatory, that's the student-centered. But the aim is to maximize the learning time. So that's why we come to the direct and the indirect method. Now, with the direct method of teaching, we say this happens when the teacher places the highest priority on the assignment and the completion of the academic activity. The teacher's focus is on completion of the academic activity. The teacher selects and directs the learning tasks for the students. And in this case, it is also characterized by the teacher's reliance on the lecture and the criticism, justifications of authority, and the giving of direction. That's much about the direct teaching methods. Everything is direct. Lecture. Students have less time to ask questions. Criticisms are not that accepted in that kind of direct teaching much. The teacher is authority. The teacher exhibits his authority in the class such that students find it difficult to come out with their own viewpoints. Studies have shown that a stronger academic focus manifests greater students' academic achievement. And when it comes to the before we come to the indirect, let's look at this slide also. In the direct methods, a common form of direct instruction is the lecture mode. That's what we discussed it before already. The lecture mode, which can make a positive contribution if they are well planned and organized. Yes, that's why we said no method is entirely wrong. All the methods, if you organize it well, it can be applied, and the teacher needs to know when to apply them. Just that some methods are better preferred than others, especially the activity method is really preferred than others because the students will learn much in the activity method. And it is a teacher-centered. The direct teaching is a teacher-centered technique in which interaction between the teacher and the student is very minimal. The average teacher makes 70% of talking in the primary and the secondary classrooms, and this should not be encouraged. Sometimes you understand the teachers because when you give assignments and or class tasks and the students are finding it difficult, you see to be that they are wasting too much time. If you don't take care, you may not be able to cover the topics in the syllabus. So you need to go direct and make sure that they cover, so that at least you know that you've done your part. Then that they can accuse you that, oh, my teacher did not teach me this, my teacher did not teach me this. So that's why most of us, we try to cover the topic more than, or we prioritize that one more than the students' comprehension. But the comprehension of the subject matter should come before or should be prioritized than the mere completion. Now let's come to the indirect teaching method. Now, the indirect teaching method is also characterized by the teacher reliance on asking questions, accepting students' view or varied viewpoints and emotional needs, acknowledging students' ideas and building on it, and giving praise and encouragement. This is the direct method of teaching. It promotes increase in critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Then students are encouraged to explore and cover information through the use of open-ended questions, group discussions, activities, experiments, and hands-on exercise. Studies have shown that students of indirect teachers learn more and have attitude, or let me say a good attitude towards learning than students of direct teachers. However, direct teaching is effective and convenient for the teacher, but may not be supportive of learning of most students. This brings us to the end of this session. And we are saying that in this session we learn about the difference between the direct and the indirect method of teaching. See you in the next session, and thank you.